Hello, I'm Jim Minick, and it's great to be part of the Writing the Land project. So thank you to all the organizers of that project, as well as all the other poets and artists who have contributed to the projects, as well as all the organizations that held the easements to the land, particularly for us, the Virginia Outdoors Foundation. We live in Southwest Virginia on a beautiful farm that I'm so grateful has an easement on it. And the poem I'm going to read is about this farm and some of the long history of abuse that we've inherited and we've tried to work with. The idea, I hope that I can pull this off. The poem is in 4 stanzas, and each stanza takes place in a different place on the farm that has somehow has a story behind it. So this first stanza takes place on a hillside here that has lots of trees, but it was logged probably roughly 60 years ago, and the scars of that logging are still evident. Some of the trees have huge scars that are, that made them hollow. And then on the ground here, there's a road that was a skid trail where they drug the logs out. And thankfully, the erosion has not been that bad here, but the soil is so compacted by the machinery that nothing's really grown on that road. What if we learn at last, but the land stops forgiving? To the men who logged this land in 1965, leaving tire ruts clogged with leaves and scarred oaks hollow and now tall, arching over skid trails, green alleys, I hike, pressing down with each step the already compacted soil that a lifetime later still grows nothing for all. Thank you. To the men who logged this land when they came home from the war, the civil one, to find old growth so ripe it took a day to fell just one, red, white, and black oak, poplar, maple, chestnut, walnut, and slippery elm. You milled each massive trunk here by the creek, bog too soft, so you built a timber bridge of chestnut culls and left slab heaps, rail spikes, and spindly logs below hillsides stumped and suddenly empty. Rain lifted the powdered soil and runneled it down to bury your debris in mud so deep the wood purpled instead of rotted until, 125 years later, we dug a pond, uncovering logs, salvaged and storied lumber. Thank you. To the man who quarried another hillside in 1795, poor whites and poorer slaves and boss men yelling to dig for iron, for zinc, for lead, for ore of any color. But you found none. Your horses exhausted, your shovels ringing empty. Instead of mines, you left ravines, 30 coffins deep, and bare wallow pits, and now, 200 years later, white pines tower alongside, filling each slough needle by needle, but still, each trench is barren, still, no soil, still. Thank you all. And to this dirt, who daily reminds us what death tastes like, and to these stumps, who sprout chestnut wands to blight year after year, and to this poplar we gouged while building our road, who still offers us shade and air, rain patter on leaves, and forgiveness if we begin to believe. For all this and more, thank you. Thank you.